Video demo for stock number 85958. Front here we have your brand new battery screwed down and mounted to the frame so it isn't going anywhere. Two LP tanks here. To turn on your tanks, just twist the handles in the open position. You have an automatic regulator in the middle. What that means, it means it's going to automatically draw off of whichever tank it is pointing at. Once that tank runs out of gas, it will automatically start drawing off the other tank. This will only flip manually, so even if this tank is completely empty, it will still be pointing at that tank, but using your other. Gauge in there is clear right now. That little window will actually fill up with red if the tank is empty. So if you have that pointing at your left tank and you see it's empty and you flip it over to your right and the red stays, you know you need to get your tanks filled up. Electric jack here, on off switch, just turns the light on and off underneath. Extend and retract to run your jack up and down. Rubber cap does pop off there and allow you to manually crank the jack in case you ever lose power, pop a fuse, anything like that. The handle you use for your jack is the same handle you use for your stabilizers. The stabilizer jacks are not meant to lift the vehicle. These are just meant to put weight down on the ground to keep the vehicle from rocking. Inside your compartment here, we have your electrical adapter and satellite and cable hookup, both labeled appropriately. And then you have a battery disconnect here. So with the handle locked into place like it is, everything is working. If we push that handle in, twist it up, and pull out, that's going to shut your battery off. So if you're done camping and you have this thing unplugged from electric, as soon as you pull that out, it's going to shut off everything in the camper. Water fill here, so just hook your garden hose in right here with it pointing down at city water. That is what you're going to use if you're going somewhere that has water on site. That will skip your tank and go straight to your appliances. If you want to fill your fresh tank, so if you're going somewhere that will not have water and you'll have to bring your own, flip that up to the fresh tank fill direction. Then up here, we have your solar panel controls. So to turn that on, just hit your button right there. Sealed battery is what you have now. Just leave it on that, and that's going to help charge when you're outside in the and you switch through the modes just like that. You'll see you have one of these lights in each side of the camper. These are motion sensored lights. So what that means, you see that switch has three options: one light, zero, and then two. Two is motion sensored mode, zero in the middle is off, and one is on all the time. So if you want those lights to only come on when there's motion, flip it the switch all the way up. Black tank flush here. So you connect your garden hose into that, kick your black tank on, and that's going to help, or kick the garden hose on, and that's going to keep your black tank clean. Make sure if you use that you have your black tank open, because if you leave your black tank closed and kick that on, it can fill the fresh tank up or the black tank up, and you're going to have a mess you do not want to deal with. Here you'll see labeled gray and black tank. Both your handles down here, gray on the left, black on the right. Gray is going to be your kitchen faucet and your shower and your bathroom faucet. Black is septic only. So if you're going somewhere that has water on site, or has sewer on site, you can leave your gray open all the time. Black you want to keep closed until you're ready to dump it. If you leave black open all the time, solids will build up and liquids will run off, and you'll have a clog in your tank. Slide out unit here. Seal runs all the way up and across the slide out. The seal does three things. One, when the slide out is all the way open, it seals it. And when it's all the way closed, it also seals it. Then you have this wiper here that runs up and down the slide out to help clean off any water or anything like that. If you are parked underneath a tree or anything that could drop debris, you want to check the roof of that slide out before you run it in. If anything too large is on there, that wiper won't work properly. The roof on the camper and the slide out are the same material. Factory recommends every 90 days you check that material, and what they mean by that is getting up there and making sure there's no openings in any of the sealants. You haven't drug it on a tree and tore it, anything like that. If you do notice any damage, you need to clean it and reseal it as soon as possible. You cannot use silicone on those rubber roofs. You have to use something specifically made for RV rubber roofing. Under your slide out here, you'll see you have your metal tracks that pull the slide out in and out. You can grease those tracks if you decide to. You don't want to use a bearing grease. You want to use something specifically made for RV slide out. Here we have your water heater. All the controls for your water heater are going to be on the inside, but a couple things you do need to know about out here. Pop-off valve, so if it builds up too much pressure, that will bleed off any excess. You have two breakers right here, one for gas and one for electric. So if you ever notice your water heater is not working, come out here and push on those rubber caps to make sure that they haven't tripped. Power cord here, 30 amp service, twist lock connection. You got about 35 feet of cable. Blue light here tells you have power at the plug. Ladder here, completely safe to climb up there, climb on your roof, walk around on anything like that. Spare tire is a full-size spare, so you don't have to worry about speed or distance restrictions. It's not a donut, anything like that. Water fill here, so this does the same as the other side. If you're going somewhere that does not have water on site, open this cap, stick your hose right in there, fill the tank up underneath. Spray port right here. Hose just clicks into it and allows you to have a water hose. Awning, controls for your awning are going to be on the inside. Speakers work off the radio unit on the inside, and your light also has a switch in there. Down here, we have your furnace exhaust, so if you are using your furnace, that will be pushing out heat. If you haven't used your furnace in a while, check inside there and make sure there's no stink bugs, ladybugs, mud daubers, anything like that. Electrical outlet here, and coax connection there. Stepping inside your vehicle, to the right, you'll notice you have a fire extinguisher there. Just a standard fire extinguisher, no different than what you would have in your home. Light switches, or let's start with your monitor panel. So that is your battery, 4 lights is full, fresh tank, empty, black, gray 1, and gray 2. You do have 2 gray tanks on this unit. They both dump at the same place though. So when you're checking your gray tank, if this one reads full and this one reads 2/3 full, it's not completely full. Once both these are full, that's when your tank's completely full. Interior lights, exterior is your awning light, water pump, so only if you're using the fresh tank, water heater on gas, and water heater on electric. Slide out controls here, so to run that slide out in, we're gonna hit in on the slide out switch. You'll notice the bottom of the slide out comes in first. That's normal, that's what's supposed to happen. When it gets all the way in, it'll lift up a little more and you'll hear a clicking sound. Running it out, we're gonna do the same. Awning controls here. You run your awning out, just hit extend on the awning. You can extend the awning too far. I'll show you where that is in just a second. You'll start to see that flap hang down, and you'll see the black of the tube. You just don't want that flap to go up in the air. Once you have it all the way extended, just run it back in and run it back in. Hold it till it's all the way up against the camera. Storms, high winds, anything like that, you want to put this awning up. Down below that, we have your radio unit. The radio is AM, FM, CD player, Bluetooth, everything like that. It also has two unique features. One, it's a DVD player. So stick your DVD in there, change the input on your television, it's going to start playing. It also has two speaker zones. So speaker zone A is your interior speaker. Speaker zone B is your exterior speakers. Yeah, you can play both at the same time, but you do have to play the same thing on both. So if you want to listen to the radio outside, you got to listen to the same music in here or anything like that. TV up here is on a mount. Just pull it out, put it in place. It has magnets on it to hold it while traveling, so you don't have to worry about that. Like I said, if you want to watch a DVD, it's already hooked into the back of the television with these cables, so just change the input on your television. Satellite and cable hookups here. So one right here is for your antenna. Little red button is your antenna booster. If that red light is off, you're not going to pick up anything on your antenna, so make sure you have that on if searching. If you're using a satellite system, hook into the bottom one there. Down here, you have your fuse panel and breaker box. So we got your breakers on the left, fuses on the right. Breakers are everything that work off 110. It's going to be your main power, your outlets, your microwave, your air conditioner, your water heater, your converter, and the last one's for the outside refrigerator, which you do not have. Fuses over here, everything that work off a 12 volt or propane. And it's going to be your control center, which is all those switches and buttons as soon as we walk in. Bathroom, bedroom lights, furnace, and AC. Then the next one's your refrigerator and antenna booster. Oh, I'm sorry, your radio and antenna booster. Then your refrigerator, slide out lights, kitchen lights, and your awning. If the breakers go, they'll just trip like a normal breaker. If the fuses blow, you'll actually be able to see a red light glow through there. Microwave here, just a standard microwave, no different than what you'd have in your home. Underneath it, you do have an exhaust fan and light. Cooktop here, to light your cooktop. Push and twist to the flame position, and then twist the far left knob until it lights. Red light on means that the gas is on. So even if it's not lit and you see that, you need to turn that off. Cooktop here, or oven, to light your oven. Push and twist to the pilot position. Push and hold that button down, and twist your sparker knob here. I had that lit about 20 minutes ago, so it lit really quick. If you haven't used that in a while, it'll probably take about 10 or 15 seconds for that to light. Once it is lit, you want to hold this button down for a few seconds so it can sense the heat. Then you can let off and twist to whatever temperature you want. Switch here, up does the lights there, down does your oven light. Smoke alarm there, standard smoke alarm, no different than what you'd have in your home. You do have an exhaust fan here. Just crank up with that handle and push the black button to kick the exhaust fan on. AC unit right here, controls, I'll show you in just a second. Do have a rewashable filter under this side right here. Just pop that down and you can clean that out. Refrigerator is a 12 volt only refrigerator, so as long as you're plugged into electric or your battery has power, this refrigerator will stay cold. Control knob right there, just turn it on and off just like you would any other refrigerator unit. Here we have your thermostat. So if you first touch the button, it's just going to flash. Tap it again to switch between modes. To turn it off, hold the button down until the screen goes off. To turn it back on, hold the button on until the screen kicks back on. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll see right now it's on cool. I can switch between our fan mode there. I can go to heat, which is your gas furnace. I can go to your fan only, or we can go to dry. And what dry does, it's kind of like a dehumidifier AC mode. So it'll help pull moisture out of the air. Smoke alarm right here, 9 volt battery in it, just like you'd have in your home. Down there you have your LP and or your LP alarm. That is hooked into the battery on the front of this camper. It'll go off for one of two reasons. If it's an infrequent beep, that's going to be a low battery. And if that happens, you just need to plug your camper up to electric to get it charged. If the beep is constant, and trust me, you'll know, it'll run you out of here, it is a propane leak. If you have a propane leak, you need to open up your doors and windows, shut your propane off, and let the unit air out until you figure out exactly what is going on. Stepping into your bathroom, you'll see you have a ground fault outlet there. Just like a house, if you plug up too much stuff, it'll need reset. Light switch for the bathroom lights. You do have another exhaust fan. That exhaust fan is just a push button up there. Toilet is a porcelain bowl, so it's a little bit easier to keep clean. Foot flush unit, just push that pedal down there. If you plan on using these foot flush, or if you plan on using these toilets, you need to do two things. One, you need to make sure you're using RV grade toilet paper because it dissolves easier than regular toilet paper. Regular toilet paper can clog your system up. Second thing you're going to make sure you need to use is RV toilet chemical. The reason you need RV toilet chemical is two reasons. One, it's a digestive, so it helps keep everything liquefied, easier to dump. And the second reason, it's a deodorizer, so it's going to help keep your smells down. When you flush that toilet, you're looking straight down into your black tank, so any smells that are down there can come up. So you want to make sure you're using RV toilet paper and RV toilet chemical. Shower, it's just a pretty standard shower. The only thing, or two things unique about it, it does have a push button on the bottom of the shower head. Allows you to turn the shower head on and off without adjusting the temperature. That way, if you're camping somewhere with your own water supply, kick the shower head on, get wet, shut it off, soap up, kick the shower head back on, and you're not going to have to worry about finding the right temperature again. Curtain just pushes in place like so. Push back on and release. They tell you not to use any harsh cleaners on it. They actually recommend like a Windex or something like that, glass cleaner, to clean the plastic part of that shower curtain. Don't think I mentioned it, but if I did, you're gonna hear it twice. Sliding doors. Make sure you always strap those sliding doors in place before you travel. If those are unstrapped, they will slide back and forth while you're traveling, and they can damage stuff. I have seen that several times. Up here, you just have another vent. This one does not have a fan in it, just a vent only. Alarm up here is a carbon monoxide detector. Has a 9-volt battery in it, like your smoke alarm. If that one goes off, pretty much same principle as your propane tanks. Open up your doors and windows and let the unit air out until you figure out exactly what is going on. USBs and electrical outlets on that side of the bed. Just electrical outlets on this side. You do have an on-off switch for the lights in here. Another set of TV hookups, and you do have an emergency exit here. To work this emergency exit, I'm going to push the handle towards the window and lift up, feeding the handle out like so to use it as a vent if you decide to. If you want to use it as an actual emergency, pull the red tab, screen will fall out and you can crawl out. The window is on a hinge, so if somebody does accidentally push the handle all the way through, you just got to go outside and feed the handle back in. Blinds are very simple to work. Fingers on it. Just pull down and push up into place. Really simple to use. Furnace vents. So any floor vents you see is going to be furnace. Any ceiling vents you see is going to be for your AC. Like I said, your AC does have a filter on it. Your furnace does not, so you don't have to worry about using anything or any cleaning it. Table does turn into a bed if you lift the table up. You see those wooden blocks underneath. The table is set on those blocks, and you use those cushions to make your mattress. You can store stuff underneath those seats. Obviously, they have the 2 doors, but when you lift those cushions up, you'll notice that you can lift the wood up and store there also. Couch does fold into a bed also. Just grab the bottom of it and it'll fold flat like a jackknife. I believe that covers everything in your guys' unit. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to give us a call. If not, I'll be the one doing your hookup on Monday. I should be able to answer any questions you may have, or if there's something I forgot to go over or something you just need a little more help, let us know. Thank you, guys.